Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live and in person, the Allied Rivals streaming together. And today we got some special guests. You know it's a collaboration video. We're ready to get right into it and talk about the MLB as well. Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know my name is AJ Herschel, and I'm here with my man Trevor Bauer. We are back in person, the Allied Rivals podcast. How you doing today, man?
You're good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good to see you.
Yeah.
We're doing all right. We're doing okay.
We're doing good.
We're going to talk about the MLB today. We know we got a lot of stuff we still need to cover. We've got the Super Bowl. We've got NFL offseason stuff. We promised reviewers and all-pro teams. We have a lot to go over. Jakob, the Duke Sports, already in the comments section saying, yes, sir, you already know that it's time to get going. It's a little bit ironic that he's the one commenting because today we will be having a collaboration. But before we do, be sure to check out our Allied Rivals Shorts playlist that we do have on the website. Those are short 5-minute videos, whether you're just riding in the car to McDonald's or whether you just got 10 minutes of the day before you go to sleep. These are always great episodes to watch. But we are finally here with our first collaborational video with KDT Sports. Please welcome Jakob the Duke and Jakob Karlson, aka we're going to call him K for the episode. How you doing today, gentlemen?
I'm so happy to be here. I'm really excited, and I'm happy to share what our YouTube channel is all about, and happy to learn about your guys as well. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be good.
Awesome. Well, let's start off with the Duke over here. Let us know, where are you from? What are your favorite teams? I'm already seeing the Cardinals hat. What's up?
Yeah, so I'm from Wheaton, Illinois. Favorite teams are, I'm a St. Louis fan because my dad's from St. Louis. So I'm just a St. Louis fan. You go Cardinals. Go Blues. So, yeah, those are my two teams.
Okay. I'm not liking the blue stuff. I'm going to be honest. All right. Kay, you got to bring us back. How you doing,
I'll bring us back. I'm an all Chicago sports fan. I'm a Chicago Blackhawks fan. I'm a big Bulls fan as well. So, or not a big Bulls fan, but basketball is one of my not biggest sports. But, I'm an all Chicago sports fan. So, we got the Blackhawks. I'm going to have to pick the Cubs. I'm not against the White Sox at all, but, I'm a big Cubs fan. And then also – gotta love the Bears as well. So Chicago represent all the way.
All right, there we go. I gotta say, I like these guys already. So this is gonna be a little bit interesting because we got our Brewers fan, our Cardinals fan, our Cubs fan, and our legally White Sox fan, but also who likes the Cubs. So I'm very curious to see what kind of rivalry stuff we got going on here. But so your guys' YouTube channel is called KDT Wiffle Ball, correct?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And for everyone who wants to know, if you want to check them out, they are already in the description and also in the live chat right now if you want to go check us out. So let's start off with this. How did your guys' channel get started? Why a wiffle ball league of all things?
Okay, you can go ahead and take this one.
Alrighty, yeah. So ever since it started, one day we were just going to a baseball field, and we started and we had a baseball game, and turned out it got delayed. So we ended up and we found a wiffle ball on the way home. It was one of the fields right next to our house. So on the way home, we found a wiffle ball. And then two of the players from my team, we went over. It was actually Duke, and then it was another friend, Rowan. And then my little brother, who was about 8 at the time, he came over, and we played a 2-on-2 wiffle ball game. It was me and Duke versus Rowan and Tor. And what we did is we just played 2-on-2, and we kind of played that throughout the summer. So that's really where it all started. I mean, we just started playing wiffle ball that day, and then it kept getting bigger and bigger, and then we eventually got bigger the following year, and then it keeps going bigger. And ever since then, it's getting big. So, Duke, how about your story? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so, once again, just like you said, we started off, after that baseball game, got canceled, and we played that one wiffle ball game. And, crazy story, that one wiffle ball game, we actually didn't video, but we still have the original clips because we did the same thing the next day. We still have those original clips. So that's a really cool story. And then next year we decided to do an actual league. And then the following year is when we decided that hey, this could actually, go to YouTube. And then that's when we expanded our league, and, we're just bringing people in right and left now. And hopefully, it continues to grow as much as it has.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. So how many years have you guys been doing it? How many teams are there? How many guys on each team?
Yeah, so this is actually funny you say that. We've been doing it for 4 years now. There's 4 teams and there's 4 people per team. So it's a 4 all around. Yeah, so this is the 4th year, going to be starting up in March as soon as the snow gets off the ground. As you can tell, it might be a while. But, yeah, so there's 4 players per team, 4 teams. Last year we had 5. with 3 players per team, but we figured it'd just be better to maximize the people so that we could have more people show up to games and not just be left with 1 or 2 players a game. So that's why we did that.
Nice.
Yep.
You got a question, AJ?
Yeah. So how does your league work? What's your game schedule? Are there playoffs? Is it similar to the MLB in terms of like your World Series and everything? How's it work?
All right, so this is how we really work our league. So with a 4-team, league, that's kind of, that doesn't really work with the playoffs. So what we do is each team we don't necessarily do it by divisions. We have like a rival that you will play 3 times, and we do 3-game series. So you'll play your rival 3 times, and you'll play every other team twice in a 3-game series. So that adds up to a total of 21 games. And so the 4th seed in the league, so the team with the worst overall record, does not make the playoffs. And then the 1 seed goes straight to the championship, and then the 2 and 3 seed will play in a 5-game series, and then whoever wins that will go on to the championship.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Interesting. All right.
Cool.
You're next.
I don't know. How about this? How about before this? How'd you guys meet?
Oh, yeah. So how we met is Duke had a Bible camp at his church one day, and we saw it. We were going for a bike ride, and we saw, they're having a Bible camp. We're like, okay, sweet. I'm going to go join. So then I think we were, like 7 or 8 at the time?
I think we were, 8. I was 8.
Yeah, it was 8. It was our 8th year, and we were young. And we went up to the Bible camp first day, and I met Duke, and his name was Jakob too, so we found that pretty ironic. I knew he liked baseball because we would just play kind of during the thing and talk about stuff, and we were kind of 2 little 8-year-olds. So, I mean, we kind of knew a lot, both of us each, and we both play competitive Park District baseball. So ever since then, that's when we meet, and then, it lives on today. We're still best friends, so, yep.
That's awesome. And we are off the
Yeah.
screen. That's awesome.
The shoulders.
The shoulders, yeah. So obviously you guys have been gunning for a while. So this next season, are the teams shifted around? Do the teams stay the same? Do you have a draft? How does that work? So officially, I'm assuming you guys are the commissioners, right?
Yeah. So me and Kay run the league. We decided we weren't gonna have one actual president. Me and Kay just wanted to run it together, just because we work really well together for knowing each other for that long, obviously. So what we do is last couple of years it's kind of been interesting because we didn't know whether to keep the teams because we've been adding and taking people out like crazy. So what we decided to do is we just threw everybody into almost like a draft lottery, and then we just randomized the draft order, and we did a snake draft. So I first overall pick, then Kay, and then just so on. And so what we do is we have 4 people, and we play 3-inning games, and so only 3 people can take the field at once. And the idea with that is so that we can actually have at least 3 people at every single game. We don't necessarily have to have, with the season before, we only had 3 people on each team, and people couldn't make it. So then you had 2-man games, and that caused a lot of problems. Even though it was still a great season last year, and the 2-man games were some of the best games we had. It still just makes things a lot easier having 4 people on a team, and it should be a very exciting year.
Awesome. Well, guys, who were last year's champions? Who reigned?
So last year, my team, the Warriors, took home the championship right here. You ready for this? Here's our trophy. We won last game. This was our second trophy. As you can see, we see Warriors 2019 and 2020. Second ever. Brand new trophy. We can bring it back for the 3rd time. But yeah, as you can tell, we won last year, and this might have been the best series we've ever had. It was a 5-game World Series championship, and it started off with Game 1, Duke going crazy, and they destroyed us Game 1. It was 18-3. It wasn't close. The next game, we came back and rebounded, and the final score similar to that. It was 21-3. So really, really similar. And then the third game, it was also really close, but we took the early lead. We were winning, and then it came down to the final inning, and they won it. They just took it away from us. So just like that, they have a 2-1 lead going into the final day. So now we're playing the last 2 games or 1 game. So we went over after school one day, 2-1 lead. Me and my friend walked over. We're there. We're ready to go. And just like that, we kind of turned it around. I mean, the 4th game might be the craziest game because it ended up being a 15-14 win in the final inning once again. And then just like that, 2-2 series, come back, final game, and we took the dub. I mean, it was crazy. one of our KDT signature moments is the Luke Bellini walk-off grand slam down the right field line. That was the go-ahead run. So then the final score was, I believe, 9-8, and it was because of that Luke Bellini grand slam to win it. So obviously that was the craziest series, and that we came home with it because of that those 2 last games. So it was a crazy series.
Impressive. So obviously you guys have your YouTube channel. It's in the comment section. If anybody wants to see, it's in the description. Where else can people find you guys?
Yeah, so you guys can find us on Instagram at KDT Wiffle on there, and then we haven't really branched out into anywhere else. But if you guys want to try to get in the league, go message us through Instagram or comment below in one of our YouTube videos. I'm sure me and Kay will respond, and we'll find a way to get you guys involved in the channel.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very nice. So two last questions for you. First of all, if there is one name to know that anybody should know in your league, the Mike Trout, the Kurt Schilling, the Garrett Cole of your league, who is it? What is the one name fans should know of KDT Wiffle Ball?
I might know this one.
Uh-oh.
It's hard to single it down to one, to be honest. I mean, there's about, I'd say really the captains are the main 4 that we want to know. So I'd say the captains are me. I'm the captain of the Hollywood Warriors. As you can tell, I'm kind of repping the jersey here. Duke is the captain of his Cougars. And then, so that's Jakob York, and I'm Jakob Karlson. And then the 2 other players I also need to know is Jake Attila. He was a recently add-on, probably the best player in the league. That's one of the names you definitely need to know. He's the captain of the Aces. This is his first year, and he's starting a new franchise too. So, also Jake Attila. And then Gannon Hosko as well. He's been around for, I think this is third year. He made it to the championship his first year, wasn't able to last year, and then we'll see what he can do this year. So this will be his 3rd year, and he is the founder and the owner of the Wild West.
Okay.
Cool.
Very interesting. So for fans who don't know, how does wiffle ball differentiate from regular MLB? How does it work for you guys?
Yeah, so wiffle ball, there's a lot of things that people wouldn't really understand, and one of them is in an average MLB game, you have a guy who's 60 feet away throwing 95 miles per hour, and the ball moves 4 to 10 inches. In a wiffle ball game, we're probably throwing 50 to 70 miles per hour allegedly, and the ball's breaking. The good pitchers, at least, the ball's breaking 35 inches to 50 inches. So that's like 4 feet it's breaking. So once again, a lot of people think, wiffle ball is fun and easy, which it is a lot of fun, but it is a very challenging sport and it takes a lot of skill. Like you see guys like me, Kay, and Jake, racking up home runs year after year. And it's kind of, incredible because you see how much the ball breaks, and you got, I have major respect for like some of the better pitchers in our league, Gannon and Kay, who can really pitch well and throw hard and stuff like that.
Yeah, the different thing about MLB and wiffle ball is a lot of people call it plastic baseball because it's really very, very similar. I mean, you got a pitcher, you got 3 bases. The only thing different really is pegs. That's one of the main things, and then also the strike zone not being a catcher. Pegs, you just throw it at him to get him out, or you can also, similar to baseball, throw it to first base, and the first baseman will catch it, or you can do force outs and stuff like that. So it's basically plastic baseball with about 3 times more movement, and honestly, I would say the ball sometimes moves faster. I mean, you're only 40 feet away, and that's a lot different than MLB. I mean, MLB is 60 feet away. Yeah. So it's closer to you, probably moving faster at some points, and also a lot more movement. So, yeah, it's different. It's a little different than baseball, but it's also very similar at the same time.
Impressive. Very impressive.
Amazing. 50 to 70.
That's crazy.
The wiffle ball.
That's crazy. So,
yeah,
of course, allegedly 50 to 70, right?
Some people will throw 70.
Woo! All right. Very curious. So, people, be sure to go down to the comment section. Shout out KDT Wiffle Ball. Their channel link is in the description. Go find them on Instagram at KDT Wiffle Ball. Is that correct? At KDT Wiffle Ball.
Yes, sir.
That is
there. We go. Be sure to go check them out. Their season is starting soon, so you definitely want to be subscribed to their channel with notifications on. Last question: how do the Allied Rivals get in free agency for this league?
Yeah, I mean, just let us know. I mean, we'd be happy. Next year, we're bringing more people on, and we're looking for more people as well. So we'd love to have you guys, especially you guys have some baseball background as well. Yeah, you know the game pretty well. Obviously, we'll dive into that later with MLB and stuff. So you know the game pretty well. So yeah, definitely. I'm not even joking. Like, we'd love to have you guys.
Sick.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into some MLB news. I think you guys are ready for it. Let's go ahead and start with this. last year was the craziest baseball year we'd ever seen, probably. 7-inning doubleheaders, extra innings with runners on second base, 8 teams in the playoff. So let me just start with this. We've never gotten your guys' views on the MLB on the channel. Let's start with you, the Duke. What was your reaction to the end of last year's MLB season?
Yeah, it's a crazy season. And being a Cardinals fan, because, we had that break because all of our guys got COVID, I was really got exposed to like that 7-inning doubleheader thing because we had the most in the entire league out of any team. So really that's just it's a crazy season. And, shout out to every single MLB player that went out there and just, played their hearts out. That's a difficult time. You have all the COVID restrictions and, to be able to still do what they do, even with like everything that's going on is still incredible. It's a weird season, 60 games. When you usually playing 160, it's a little bit of a shout out. How do people do that? Just go and just don't really, take it what's going on and just, play their hearts out. That's pretty cool.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, so the end of last year was crazy. The Dodgers bringing it home. To be honest, I was rooting for those up and coming Padres. I think they're gonna be really special this year, and I'm really excited to see what they can do as like with Tatis and all. And I'm really excited. I mean, the Cubs had a tough first series, and so yeah, so I'm excited to see what is going to come up this season, and as well as last season, one of the craziest years, as you've said. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did not like last season.
Okay, coming from a guy whose team got the 8th seed, of course.
Christian Yelich was terrible. That was pathetic. Lorenzo Cain not playing. It just stunk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Brewers were bad. It was an okay season, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
For me, I think the biggest thing was the NL Central. Look, all of us have our foot in the NL Central in some way. They were terrible. The Cardinals got messed up with COVID. The Brewers just had a horrible year for the most year, and the Cubs lost to the Marlins in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Everybody in the NL Central completely failed. It was probably the worst year we could have possibly had.
And we had 3 teams make
and we had 3 teams make it, exactly. So
and the Reds made it too.
The Reds made it. I forgot the Reds made it.
Those poor
All
Padres.
4 of us completely got, oh my goodness, worst season for the NL Central you could possibly ask for. So let's start with you guys. The Duke, you're a Cardinals fan. What are you expecting from your boys in red this year?
Offseason acquisition, Nolan Arenado, he's a game changer. So we're excited about that. We're bringing guys back like Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina. Molina's a Hall of Famer. So that's a big one, to bring back. He's a captain. I feel like almost in a way he's more of a coach than Mike Schiltz is because he's been around the game for so long and he's a leader in the clubhouse and on the field. So I'm excited for that. I think we can be number 1 in the division if we all, everyone stays healthy. We got guys like Dylan Karlson who are young studs who can really produce, as you saw in that playoff series. I believe he went like 8 for 12 in the playoff series. It was something insane. You got guys like Paul Goldschmidt who, when they're on, they're one of the best hitters in the league. You got guys like Nolan Arenado when, he's healthy this year. So we're looking forward to see that. He's won a Gold Glove his first 7 seasons in the big league. So we're excited to see what happens. And then we got Jack Flaherty on the mound, who's a stud. So I'm pretty confident with where our team can go this year.
Yeah. Kay, you're the Cubs fan, and our offseason has been a mess. Lester's gone to the Nats. Darvish is gone to the Padres, and our biggest acquisition is getting Jake Arrieta back. So after that mess of a last year, what are you feeling about Chicago?
It hasn't been the greatest offseason. I'll just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is some good things that I've seen and that I've learned from this offseason. I mean, we have Jock Peterson. We signed him. I mean, that's a great signing. I think that'll really help. It'll replace Kyle Schwarber, who's gone now. And I think, honestly, he might be a little better fit out there as more of an athletic fielder and right. And then also we have Trevor Williams just adding some more pitching to the rotation. I mean, considering John Lester and Darvish are gone, we're gonna need people to step up. And then you saw Alex Mills last year. Alex played really, really well. I mean, no one saw it coming, but he actually played really well, and he was one of the top 10 pitchers in the league. So I mean, I'm excited about that. However, there also is question marks. I mean, are they going to re-sign Javi Baez? Are they going to re-sign to Chris Bryant? I mean, there's question marks like those. So I'd say if they can make maybe one or two big acquisitions before the season, and that they can re-sign Chris Bryant and Javi Baez, I think we're not going to be in bad shape. I think we can still be in contention for the playoffs, but maybe not the best team in the conference this year.
Yeah. Caveman, the Brewers' biggest acquisition has been Kolten Wong, and after that, they've been almost silent. How are you feeling about Milwaukee?
I'm a little worried. We just lost Josh Hader.
Yep.
And he was that's terrible. He was the best in the league last year.
Man, I didn't know you lot. Who's Josh Hader on now?
Oh, I forget.
Do you even remember?
Who was it, AJ? I don't remember. But
man, that's a big loss.
I mean,
That's a big loss.
That's a big loss. Unless Christian Yelich is having like another MVP type year. We're in rebuild mode. I don't see a ton happening.
Mm-hmm.
We just lost Josh Hader.
I don't think you did. I'm looking it up, and there's no news about him going anywhere. There's
Yeah, I
Really?
think he's just on a 1-year contract.
Oh,
I think he's still got 1 year left.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Thought.
Well, you got him for now.
Well, for now, I think he's going though. I think he's going anyway. I don't know. We're in rebuild mode. We've lost a lot of guys. We've tried to pick up some guys. Kolten Wong, sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with it.
Yeah.
We're in rebuild mode.
For me, I'm pretty much in complete agreement with you, okay? Cubs are kind of a mess right now. We're running out of money, unfortunately. Our entire team hit very poorly last year, so I don't know what we're going to do with our hitting lineup. Darvish was literally our saving grace for half the season, especially the playoffs, and so I don't know our pitching rotation is going to look like. I don't see us having a lot of depth, and I think that's going to hurt him a lot. But for my White Sox, I mean, we've lost almost no one. We got Liam Hendricks, which I'm really excited about, who's a strong pitcher.
Stacked team.
I'm expecting us to take the AL Central this year. I think we're World Series contenders. The Yankees are a mess in terms of pitching. I'm super excited for them. But, guys, let's talk about the MLB in general. They're sticking with a lot of the same rules. They're still going with a 5 playoff format. The universal DH no longer exists. So the NL is still going to have pitchers hitting again. And we're going back to 7-inning doubleheaders and runners on second and extra innings. Are you guys in favor or opposed to those changes?
You know, it's a crazy time. So, and I think you have to cut Rob Manfred a little slack because there's so much going on, behind the scenes in baseball that they're trying to just keep MLB season going, and so I think you have to cut them a little slack, even though maybe they don't make the best decisions, every single time. Which the 7-inning doubleheader, like, trust me, no one would understand that, would be more frustrated with that than a Cardinals fan would be as of last year. Yeah, and the playoff format, I didn't actually mind the playoff format. I thought it was actually a little bit interesting. I don't feel like it's wrong to spice things up, Everett. I think that was actually one of the better moves they made because I thought, bringing like all those teams in, that like a lot of like late season that teams that were really good actually got their chance in the playoffs. So I thought that was actually kind of a bit of a twist that I kind of enjoyed. I'm not even gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Kay, what about you?
Yeah, I would agree with Duke, actually, 100%. I mean, we do have to cut Manfred a little slack. I mean, yeah, he has made his mistakes, but also we got to be happy for what he did in the postseason, how he made something out of nothing and really expanded the playoffs, in which I also did not mind, and I thought it was actually a good move. And honestly, AJ, I'm gonna have to go back to that White Sox. I have none other than the Minnesota Twins winning the AL Central because of the acquisitions they made. A big acquisition they made. I'm going to have to say it, and that's Andrelton Simmons at shortstop now. And now they've got a really good infield, and I'm really excited to see what they can do. So I have the Twins winning the AL Central just because I'm a big Twins fan. I'm also from Minnesota as well. So yeah, so I'm excited. I think it's going to be really close between those. So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I've never been the biggest fan of the 5-team playoff, especially with the wild card game, because to me it's like these guys play 182 games and you're going to leave the playoffs up to an individual game. It's always been ridiculous to me. So if anything needed to change, I would have said it was that. I know that the MLB and the MLBPA have been having a lot of problems, especially with the universal DH in trade for expanded playoffs. Of course, I'm going to miss 9-inning doubleheaders, but I definitely think it's better for the players' safety and health that they're sticking with 7 innings. And also, a lot of people, are turned off by baseball because they say the games take forever, especially when they go to extra innings. And normally the season has one game that goes over 15 innings. Last year, we didn't have one go over 13. So as much as I think the runner on second maybe hurts the integrity of baseball a little bit, I think for the publicity and the health of the players, I think it makes total sense to me.
Yeah. I think for me, I pretty much agree with pretty much everything AJ said. I think the one sticking out to me is the runner on second in extra innings. I think that's just going to make the game really fun. Just put more pressure on the pitchers. I think that'll just make it fun, not feel so slow necessarily. I mean, always when you're there, it's amazing to watch the extra innings, but sometimes on TV and all the commercials and all the TV breaks sometimes gets boring, but I think it'll be really exciting, really good addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sorry, go ahead.
From
Yeah.
a fan standpoint, I mean, that's going to help. I think that's going to help baseball a lot. I mean, shortening to 7 innings and putting, if it goes into extra innings, putting a runner on second, I think that's going to help it a lot. I mean, I know a lot of friends don't like baseball just because it's too long and you can't sit there for 3 hours and plus maybe more, depending on the game and how long it's going to go. So I would agree with that from a fan standpoint. But I mean, as a player, you might like it better, but from a fan standpoint, from a league overall view, I'd say, it's better.
Yeah. Well, there are a couple of really, really big additions that happened this year, and there's quite a few of them to go over. We'll save the biggest one for last, but we already talked about it a little bit. The Padres got Yu Darvish and Blake Snell. They are trading away their entire future, essentially, and going all in this year. Their pitching was one of their weaker points because, as we know, Tatis, Machado, everybody on that team can hit home runs, but now their pitching is just as good. How good do you see the Padres being in a full season, almost a full season this year?
Yeah.
I see Padres being top 4 in the entire league, if I'm being honest. You got guys so you're building the club around guys like Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, and then you got guys like Will Myers, Eric Hosmer, and then Nola behind the plate, backing them up. And then their pitching is just outstanding. You got Paddock, now you got Darvish. You got all these guys, and I think they're going to be a tough team to beat, especially when you're, in their division, you're playing them, more times than not. That's going to be a tough team to beat.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that losing to the Dodgers last year really stung them. It really stung because they brought in, they're going all in right now. They're taking away their whole entire future, as you said. I mean, they're bringing in these stars right and left. I mean, they really want to going all in this year, and that's why I'm going to make a bold prediction. The Padres will be the 2021 World Series champions.
Oh, already we got our February prediction. Hot take from K.
I do.
San Diego Padres World Series champs.
I do. I have them winning. I mean, just for that reason. I mean, they have I think they have the best pitching rotation in the league now. And I also think they've got up and coming star and could be MVP again. Fernando Tatis Jr. Plays with flair, can really hit the ball, and maybe has a better glove than hitting. So I'm excited to see that. And they've got some good outfield too. So I have them winning the World Series this year. So I'm excited.
Interesting. Caveman, what about you? Do you agree with that?
No. I think the Padres are going to be good. I think I'm kind of more on the side of Duke, maybe. I think they're going to be really good. Not going to be a fun team to play, especially when you're in their division. But no, I don't think they're going to go World Series. I think this is kind of going to be like the White Sox last year, where I felt like they need a little time to gel. They didn't really. It seems like they kind of got off pretty fast on a good start. But you kind of saw in the playoffs they had some weaknesses. They needed to work their chemistry over the offseason. And I think this is going to be the Padres' year of that. I'm going White Sox, go World Series.
Let's go! I like that.
We kind of moved into the bold prediction segment.
No way.
Honestly, for real. Okay, Duke, what's yours? Everyone's got to give us one right now.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'm just going to come out and say it. It's not going to be the White Sox. It's not going to be the Padres. The number 1 team winning the World Series, Los Angeles Dodgers. No question.
Oh, come on. That completely goes against the point of the segment.
I just see them with Bauer now and Kershaw and their incredible starting rotation. I see them, going a long way.
I
Yeah.
can see
Well,
that happening.
speaking of Bauer, let's go ahead and talk about it. The reigning champs added arguably the best pitcher in baseball to a 3-year, $102 million deal. This team is loaded, absolutely stacked. You've got your starting rotation alone is Trevor Bauer, Kershaw, and Walker Buehler. You brought it up. The Duke, go ahead. Trevor Bauer's got to be big.
Trevor Bauer, in my opinion, is the best pitcher in the entire league. Winning the Cy Young last year, he's just outstanding. And, a lot of people bring up, a lot of people hate on Bauer just because, he's a crazy guy. And I think what he does for the game of baseball is great. He's got his own YouTube channel and stuff like that. I think, he's just trying to, sell the game to people, get people more invested. And I think he does a great job of that. And plus he's, striking out 15 hitters a game. So the stuff he does is outstanding. And I think the Dodgers are going to be a really hard team to beat because even with the Padres pitching being really good, Dodgers can one-up them almost in every single category. So I think the Dodgers are going to be a tough team to beat.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, that's going to really help the Dodgers' depth. I mean, they already had a crazy amount of depth in their World Series champions. They didn't even lose anyone really to the Bauer trade either. So, I mean, they're going to be another really dangerous team this year. And I'm really excited to see what Bauer can do. However, I'm going to have to disagree with Duke. Bauer's not the best pitcher in the league. He's not the best pitcher in the league. But
so who do you think it is?
I think he's one of the best. What do you say?
Who do you think it is while you're here?
I'm just gonna have to say not Bauer. I mean,
You hater.
I'm not having Bauer. I mean, don't get me wrong, this guy's one of the best pitchers in the league, but then you have people like Max Scherzer, however, that guy's getting old. So the door is open for the new best pitcher in the league, and I think Bauer might be able to fill that spot. Verlander's getting old as well. So I mean,
if he can
for a new top Cy Young pitcher, but yeah, so I'm excited to see. What Bauer can do on the Dodgers, and it's really going to help them. And that's what I would have to agree with Duke. The Dodgers are going to make it really close to the World Series, if not win it again.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Duke. Kind of. I think Trevor Bauer next year will be the best pitcher in baseball, and he will win the Cy Young. He came this close last year, playing on the Reds, who had no hitting lineup to help him. I mean, they're pitching. The rest of their rotation was fine. There's a reason they barely squeaked into the playoffs with 8 teams last year. Now he's going to actually have a team that's going to be able to back him up on the hitting side. I think that they will absolutely be able to dominate. I think he gets it again. I think Bauer wins the Cy Young again this year. What do you think, Cayman?
Yeah, I'm going with that. I think he's going to be the best pitcher. He's going Cy Young. But not only hitting, I think he also will have a better outfield behind him. And infield for that matter. Dodgers are just overall way better than the Reds. What was the other thing we were talking about? Or something else I forgot to say. Knew this was gonna happen.
Trevor Bauer, Dodgers, best pitcher.
Oh yeah, Dodgers. They're gonna go World Series against the White Sox.
Okay,
that's my big prediction.
Okay, interesting. Well, we'll get one or two other things in here before we head out. One of the biggest pickups that I think happened, and this is going to be I didn't give my pro prediction for World Series winner. I'll give it to this. With Marcell Ozuna staying in Atlanta, I think I might give this one to the Braves. They came this close to knocking off the Dodgers in the playoffs with next to no pitching rotation outside of Max Fried and Ian Anderson. Now, you will get Max Fried, Ian Anderson, a healthy Mike Soroka down the stretch, and they signed Charlie Morton in free agency, which I think is just great for load bearing. He's getting old. Don't get that wrong. He's like 50. But he is still a solid pitcher in the MLB, and this team has the bats to be able to keep up with it. Ronald Acuna Jr., you got MVP Freddie Freeman, and now Marcell Ozuna is coming back. The universal DH getting canceled does hurt that a little bit, but I still think Atlanta, the Dodgers, and the Padres are the MLB frontrunners, and if I got NL frontrunners, and if I got to give a bold prediction, I'm saying Atlanta takes it right now. What do you guys think about the Braves next season?
They're going to be really good. They're going to be a special team all around. I mean, good rotation, not the best, but I mean, they've got a great hitting lineup. I mean, you got Freddie Freeman, you got good on base guy Ender Inciarte again, and then you got Marcell Ozuna, who can really hit the ball in left field, and he plays some good left field as well. And then you got great hitting lineup. You got Dansby Swanson as well. Don't forget about him either. So all around really, really good hitting wise, and I think they're going to be a lot of on base this year, and going to be hard for pitchers to pitch to. So it'll be interesting.
Yep. Duke, what about you? You already said Dodgers, so what are you thinking right now?
You know what? I am a little ashamed of Kay when he was talking about their hitting that he didn't mention Ronald Acuna Jr. I mean, like, he's the best fielder in baseball.
That is true.
Anyway, I think the Braves are a good team. The problem with the Braves is I don't necessarily see a leader in their team. Even though Freddie Freeman's been around the league for a while and he's an MVP caliber player, I still don't see that leader. You got guys like Marcell Ozuna who have had their problems off the field before, and people don't necessarily like them. As a leader, you got young guys, Acuna, Albies, Swanson, who plays third base? I don't even remember who plays third base for them. You got Nick Markakis. I'd say Nick Markakis is probably closest to the leader on that team. But once again, you got a lot of young guys, and it'll just be interesting to see how they come together. I think they can be a World Series caliber team, but at the same time, they could be one of the lower teams in the entire National League as well. I feel like it just depends on how that team gels together this year.
Okay, Cayman, what do you think?
I'm going with Duke. It's depending how fast they can gel.
Okay. Yeah.
I would probably say that Freddie Freeman is kind of the leader of the team.
Yeah, completely agreement there.
He's great. He got the MVP. I don't know.
He's been there his entire career. He's a Brave for life.
He's what more can you ask?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Braves are going to be a really good team. They were kind of developing last year. This year they're going to be better. Yeah. I think right now I'd say it's probably between them and the Dodgers, but you never know how they're going to gel.
Yeah, true. That lineup all around is crazy. I mean, we also forgot Josh Donaldson. He plays the hot corner now. And then that infield is crazy. We got Dansby Swanson. We have Josh Donaldson, Freddie Freeman, and Ozzie Albies. Don't forget Ronald Acuna, Nick Markakis, and Marcell Ozuna too. I mean, that might be the best overall balanced lineup and balanced positions in the whole entire league. I mean, that's crazy, and that's really that was a good point you made by AJ, because I didn't think about them, and I didn't think about them as contenders, but I guess they are going to be really close this year.
Yeah, and true, and even to your point, like Donaldson, to be fair, is in Minnesota right now. Yeah, just to remind you, he is in Minnesota right now, and they took the Dodgers to 7 without Donaldson and without Charlie Morton and without Mike Soroka. So I'm like, I think they're gonna come close. I think they'll be really.
They're gonna be a good team.
They'll be really good. Well, we're almost at the 40-minute mark right now, so let's try to finish off a little bit here. Let me give you guys one thing. We've already talked about all the front runners. We've talked about the Dodgers and the Padres, the Braves. The NL is going to be stacked this year. The AL's hurting a little bit. I mean, the Yankees lost almost all of their pitching lineup. They signed Corey Kluber and Garrett Cole, but outside of that, we all know their hitting lineup has problems staying healthy. So if you had to pick a dark horse to make a run at the playoffs and even the World Series, what team would you guys pick?
That's a tough one, but I think I'm gonna hurt some people here, and I'm gonna, Kay's gonna really love me, but I gotta go Minnesota, to be honest. I think the Twins have a really good shot at being a really good team. And I still think the Yankees can still be a top contender. They signed DJ LeMahieu. You got it when Stanton's healthy, as you can see in the playoffs, he just absolutely hits the ball out of the park 9 times out of 10. You got guys like Aaron Judge when he's healthy. I mean, he's become more of a contact hitter actually than a power hitter. If he can just keep up the average, then I think he'll be good. But yeah, I'm gonna say Minnesota Twins. That's my pick.
Interesting. Kay, what about you?
I would have to agree as well, Duke, with Minnesota Twins. Love them. Great outfield. We got one of the fastest players, Byron Buxton, in the league. Great defense, Gold Glove winner. And then you also got Max Kepler, up and coming star over there and right.
Very true.
Who can hit the ball and make some good plays too. And with the addition of none other than Andrelton Simmons, that's really going to help them as well. And then you got Josh Donaldson over there too. And then Miguel Sano, if he can stay healthy and stay out of trouble, he'll really help as well. So I'm excited to see what the Twins can do, and I think they are the dark horse, and I think they're going to go far in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think for me, this one's a little bit of a surprise. This is a team that barely squeaked into the playoffs last year, but I'm gonna pick a very, very dark horse that you probably will never see it coming. I'm gonna say Blue Jays. These guys are a great hitting team, and of course, they're young. Their pitching is a little bit iffy, but these are guys that can knock the ball out of the park left and right whenever you need them to. We already talked about I don't see them as a front runner at all. They're in a tough division with the New York Yankees, and yes, the Rays lost Blake Snell and Charlie Charlie Morton, but their hitting lineup was evolving by the time they reached the end of the season. They certainly won't be easy, but I think the Blue Jays are a wild card team and can maybe make an upset in the playoffs as well. So they're going to be my dark horse. Caveman, what about you?
The Reds.
Oh my goodness, you've got to.
They're in the NL.
What?
They're in the NL.
They're in NL.
Oh yeah, they're in the end. Whoops. Shoot.
A's. I don't know.
A's. That's what I was thinking of. I don't know. They've lost some guys. They've picked up some guys. They've tried to do stuff over the offseason.
Kind of, yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, is there any other thing you guys want to talk about with the MLB? Any players, any events you guys want to talk about before we head out?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a really good year this year. So
Yeah.
a lot of up and coming young teams. So I'm excited to see what those stars and those guys can do.
Well, guys, this has been our collaboration with KDT Wiffle Ball. Once again, go check out their YouTube channel in the live chat in the description, and also be sure to check them out on Instagram at KDT Wiffle Ball. And guys, we already talked to you guys earlier about this. We always like to bring out one piece of sports memorabilia per episode for the most part. Kay, let's start with you. What do you got for us?
You know what? We were talking about the Braves earlier, and that's why I'm going to bring up the Hank Aaron baseball bat, as you can see on here. That is from the Braves versus Dodgers game on April 8th. So yeah, this is my piece of memorabilia. We got a nice little bat, and it's very heavy. You can tell it's pretty old.
Yeah, very true. Also, respect to Hank Aaron. Rest in peace. Oh my goodness, we'll absolutely miss him.
What a great brewer.
What?
I'm just kidding.
He was a Brave. What are you talking
I always
about?
wished he was a brewer.
Okay, moving on from that. The Duke, Cademan is having a hard time with this. How about you bring something out to distract him?
All right, so I got a signed baseball here from when me and Kay actually went to a Cubs game versus the Cardinals, and we got a signature from newly signed player Adam Wainwright to the Cardinals again. We got Mike Leake, we got Kevin Segrist right here, and then we got Trevor Rosenthal, 4 really good pitchers. And so yeah, that was pretty cool.
Very impressive. Well, gentlemen, thank you guys so much. Oh, you got one other thing for us, Kay?
Yeah, we got the 2016 World Series baseball.
Ooh, I like that one. I like that World Series a lot.
And
That's a good one too.
Yes.
Milwaukee Braves. Yeah. We'll just put that in there.
And then they moved because they realized they couldn't do it there.
That's all right. We're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Allied Rivals podcast. This is a little bit of a longer one, but it was definitely worth it. Be sure to check out our Allied Rivals shorts page up there. Be sure to check out KDT Wiffle Ball. Once again, in the description, at KDT Wiffle Ball on Instagram. Their season is starting soon. You definitely want to be subscribed with notifications on. Gentlemen, anything else you want to say before we sign off for today?
Thanks so much for having us. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Sure.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, we
Awesome.
love having you guys on. Definitely maybe when the MLB gets started again, we check in with y'all season. Let us know how it's going. Maybe one of us will be in there too. I don't know. We'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of the Allied Rivals podcast, my name's AJ Herschel. This is Trevor Bauer, and thank you guys so much. The Jakob York, the Duke, and Jakob Karlson K from KDT Wiffle Ball for tuning in as well with us. We will see you guys next time on the one and only Allied Rivals podcast.